morning all. It is early, it's 6:29 in the morning, so I'm a little bit later than I anticipated leaving, but not too bad this morning for my adventure, Aberdeen to London to Aberdeen, over the space of 3 days, and so this will be interesting. I have the car's been plugged in overnight. Well, I plugged it in about midnight, whatever it was, and we are full of charge. Is it going to focus? There it goes. I've been blatting. It's been very cold up here, about 2 degrees, 1, 2, kind of 3 degrees the last few days. So the heating's been on. I've not had it in eco mode or anything, so you can see what it does to the range right there. However, I'm going to reset everything. So the usual thing. Now I need to be on one of the B settings, if I remember rightly. Yeah, look at that, 3.19. Ha! Not brilliant. Right, foot on both the pedals, and press and hold and bonk. Reset 119 miles. Haha! In my dreams. But that will reset all my trip there. In fact, I'll reset the A trip as well. So we're starting completely fresh. Okay. And I've got various bits and bobs. I've plugged in the dongle here, so I can kind of keep an eye on what's happening at various points on the way down. However, good news, because it's been very cold, but good news, I knew the temperature was going to go up 9 degrees. This is a good thing for me heading down. That should really help for heading down the road, it not being just as cold. And I have in my bag here a whole 31 pages or something like that printout from Google directions of kind of various stops I'm going to make on the way down, just to kind of keep me in mind of that. So that is my intent. Okay. I have put up on social media that I'm doing this, so I've got to be quite busy on the way down, doing various things and updating this, that, and the other, and using Glimpse, which I've not used before, so the folks can follow the journey. So it should be quite exciting. Quite looking forward to this. My phone has got a number of audiobooks on it, which will keep me entertained on the way down, and otherwise, I think we're ready to go. First stop, Dundee. Head down to the ice arena at Dundee, rapid charge, and then I think Stirling probably head to after that. Ooh, wish me luck. Right, we'll see how we go. I have, no one behind, set up Glimpse on with hopefully it sent a note to Facebook and to Twitter, and I am heading off from Duthie Park in Aberdeen, fully charged. It is a lot milder than it's been the last few days, which is wonderful. That'll help a lot. Around about 8 degrees warmer, so that makes it much milder. So the battery temperature will be around about 9 degrees. I was worried it would be hovering around freezing. So getting down to Dundee, which I think may be my second longest kind of stint that I've added in, should be a piece of cake. And it might allow me to be a little bit more ambitious in some of my stops. I've been quite conservative on my route down, that I've kind of planned out where I'm going to stop, which service stations on the way down. So that would be good. Maybe make a bit of extra time that way. Now on the Google Maps, when I kind of plugged it all in fact, I will just put in the sat nav to my next destination. Lots of sign, there's a lot of traffic on the road already. Hey. Right, we're off. I'm in eco mode, but just while I was getting sort of faffed around and getting things set up, the GoPro mounted, tweeting done and all that kind of stuff, I had the heater on just to warm the car a little bit, but actually the heater's off at the moment, so I'll maybe, and it's perfectly fine temperature wise for me anyway. I don't like it too hot in the car anyway, but I'm in layers, so all good. Yeah, so as I was saying, I've been pretty conservative in my choice of going down, so maybe I'll be able to stretch that out a little bit on the way down. I think there's one other sort of hop which I kind of planned, which is maybe more like 70 miles. So that's I'll see how I'm doing, you see, on the way down. That's quite a wee bit down, but I can stop in, but there are other stops in between. So it's actually pretty darn good. Most of the service stations now on the way down have charging points at them. And I had a quick look last night on Ecotricity, because it'll mostly be Ecotricity that I am using. I'll use Charge Your Car network a couple of times, and I got a Source London card that I might use for where I'm going to park when I'm in London, so I can get a charge there. But I think that'll be basically the only time I use it, will be once. But it'll be nice to have a full charge when I set off back home. Yeah, so it'll be mostly Ecotricity on the way down, and I had a quick look on their map, and it's not a real-time updated map, but it was saying pretty much most of the charges were up the last time they had updated their map anyway. So fingers crossed that is the case. Quite a lot of them, there is more than one. There are a couple of charges, so that'll gives a little bit of redundancy, which is always nice. All right, so I've got audiobooks. I have chocolate, which I'm going to try and hold off from attacking as long as possible. It's now 6:46, and I am heading to Dundee for breakfast. My plan: get some breakfast there while the car charges up. I think that's enough for now. And I'm not going to do a whole screeds in between each charge, because otherwise this video will end up being 12 hours long. So I'll maybe just do some updates as this journey unfolds. But as I was saying earlier, I'm trying to do this a bit more in real time as well, so folks that are wanting to can follow on. Right, already I've been climbing that big hill out of Aberdeen. I'm still climbing it, and my range has dropped on the meter to 101 miles. As I say, that is my notional, fictional 101 miles, 100 miles now, having reset all the computer, trip computer and all that stuff. I will not get that far. Would be nice though. Okay, see you in a bit. So as I was saying, the temperature is good. What is not so good is it's very windy, and I think it's it must be, because the temperature's gone up. It'll be a southerly wind, so I'm going straight into the wind, and I can feel it in the car already. So strong wind going into the wind that'll take a bit of range off going down, and I suspect I'll have that the whole way down if the weather kind of stays the same throughout today. The other thing is, which I got sidetracked myself in updating the sat-nav. Yes, so Google, the directions on Google when I printed it out, suggests around about 10 hours driving time for this journey. So I probably won't be going just as fast as they are using as a calculation. It depends. Some of the stops I'm planning, I will be able to just blatter down at the speed limit or thereabouts. Other legs I may be a little bit more conservative, like this one here, which I'll start off kind of 60ish, and then maybe build the speed up as I get a feel for how the battery is being used on the way down, fighting against the wind as I am. So I have no idea, to be honest, how long this is going to take. So I'm hoping to be down in Beaconsfield for tonight, to get a sleep tonight. So that is my target. What time tonight? Dunno. So yeah, it's totally going to depend on this being, no unforeseen circumstances cropping up in the way down. If everything goes smoothly, I should make it down, and be able to have a good night's sleep. If everything goes belly up, may not be much sleep. I don't know. We will find out. Yes, I'm as interested. I'm very interested to see how this works out, going all the way down. Just coming into Dundee, and just listening to the radio, and they're talking about the weather, and yes, it's pretty miserable here. It's raining now. Just past signs for the Forth Road Bridge, which is closed to high-sided vehicles. So yes, definitely very windy. So actually on the way down, I came up to a truck, and so I kind of followed behind the truck for a good 20-30 miles, which helped bring my average up to 3.3 miles per kilowatt hour. It was lingering around about 2.5, 2.6, and I'm struggling to get it much higher than that, with punching a hole into the oncoming wind. So that helped bring my average up. So I've got 3 miles to the Dundee ice rink charger and 12 miles left on the battery. So that's all fine. So how many miles were done? 61 miles using 18 kilowatt hours of energy. Just off the dual carriageway, and as I'm pulling into where the ice arena is, and I can see the charger ahead, it's all clear and green lights, good sign. The kind of early warning, which I think is around about 12% on battery, has just chimed. So ideal. Right. Oh, it's still pretty miserable. So I'm going to plug in here. I'll maybe do a wee update of a few things, and then go get some breakfast while the car charges. So my 12% estimate was about spot on, right? For when the warning came on. So I've just plugged in 13%, 14%, so it's cranking on. That's good. So far so good. So as I say, that's one of my earlier. That's one of my kind of longer legs. So I'm a little bit careful, and it's all just because of the weather. Again, bucketing rain, strong wind. Thankfully, temperature has not been as bad. Right, I'm gonna just do. I'm gonna try and connect up to the Kanzi app. and see what kind of temperatures are and stuff like that of the battery, just out of interest. Oh, it is just miserable. Just that horrible, long, strong wind, wet. I mean, it's not raining, but it's, well, it's pretty wet. Anyway, I have my juice, my coffee, and heading back to the car. So this is probably going to be a slightly longer stop than usual because I got my breakfast while I was here. But that's probably good for the car. We'll see what we're up to. 98. So this will be longer than I'm usually going to stop, but it's almost filled the car all the way up. But breakfast stop, so that's the reason for that. Still blue. Right, now this will be getting more accurate because it's kind of based on what I've actually been driving. 87 miles, that's not bad. Yeah, we'll see how that continues as the journey goes on. Right, next stop is going to be Stirling services. So that should be no bother getting down to. Here's hoping. Right, on I go. Oh, very straightforward trek down to the Stirling services, which I thought I'd put into my sat nav the right service, but I clearly hadn't. So I was a bit surprised by the distance that it came up with, thinking, oh, I don't think it was as far as that, and sure enough it wasn't. So I was a little bit careful on the way down, where I could have gone. I've got 18 miles of range left, so I'm absolutely fine. Yes, so a quick top up here, and then down past Glasgow, I think, before I need to top up again. No one here at the charger, so I can just plug straight in. Some ice cars, not leaving an awful lot of space next to us, but hey, there we go. Right, all looks like it's on and working fine. Good. Right, smile. Smile. Right, charged up to about 95% there. Had a good old blether with a fellow member of the EVAS, the Electric Vehicle Association Scotland, who is just waiting to plug in a new Leaf on a fantastic PCP deal he's found up here. So very nice indeed. BMW i3 came and parked next to me, and is and then apparently just parks there all day. Works near here, and whether plugged in or not, just parks there, which is horrendous for a rapid charger. And I've not actually come across that before myself, with getting kind of blocked in at this one like that, but makes you think twice for coming back. Right, so next stop, not quite sure. Head down the M74 a bit, see how the battery does, yeah, in fact I'm going to have a look at my itinerary, and I'll put in something in the sat nav for the next stop on Right, so far so good. Weather is still pretty miserable. It's 10 degrees and damp, wet, spitting. Not too bad, but not brilliant. Right, I've put into the sat-nav the next stop, which I'd kind of got on my itinerary, which is down Johnston Bridge. So this, I think this may be one of my longer kind of stops. So it's about 72 miles when I put it in. I'd already driven a few miles. So I've got 66 miles on the battery and it's 70 odd miles to go. So this is one of these. I'm gonna play. There's another charger kind of halfway in between at Hamilton. So I'll see if I get the range up so that it's a matching on the battery and the distance to go. I'll just kind of carry on to that charger. If not, I'll get I'll maybe get a top up earlier and then rejig some of my other stops along the way. I may find a nice, in fact I'm behind a Shore Porters Society removal truck at the moment, and there's quite a lot of traffic here, so there's a lot of traffic around, so I'm tending to follow, rather than just being on my own, I am following traffic, so we're getting a bit of the benefit of slipstream there. Good. Had a nice chat while the car was charging, talking about some of the issues in Scotland around changes that may be coming in how we deal with payments and good ways of billing and making that kind of billing fair and appropriate. Some of the companies that are introducing billing, like Chargemaster, are doing it in a bizarre way that is really going to, well, I cannot see how their business is going to make sense. It's going to so hack off EV drivers. Now, most drivers of electric vehicles, it's not because they're after a free lunch, because of course at the moment a lot of the electricity that we're using is free for us. I mean, you're paying through your taxes and all that, of course, as everyone is, but it is subsidised in order to kickstart and try and get things moving for people adopting electric vehicles. So they are moving to a model where you've got quite a high monthly fee plus charges each time you charge, and they're pretty steep charges, especially using a rapid charger. Which would, now if I'm thinking about this journey that I'm doing today, if I drove in our diesel car down, it'd probably be about a tank down, a tank back kind of thing, roughly, maybe a little bit more. So when you think of the costs of that and then the rapid charger costs, it would be about the same. Now the electricity costs are far, far less. So if you're just paying for electricity, it's much, much less. But the way that Chargemaster are going to be charging it, all the economic benefit of an electric car, and that's not taking that's not saying because the electricity is free, even if you're paying for electricity, but paying at a sensible rate that matches kind of what the cost is for the electricity, then you would be you'd be fine. You'd still be saving money. Sorry, I'm distracted as I overtake that lorry there. You would still be saving a considerable amount of money over a petrol or diesel car. But that is not the model that has been adopted. So, what model is going to be applied across Scotland? And the thing is, most folks, they have no objection to paying. There's no objection to paying, but it's just making sure that it kind of tallies with what that is a fair cost for what how you're using the car. And it doesn't seem like they've got these calculations right at the moment. So much so that a lot of folks will just say, "Oh, forget that. Well, I don't see any benefits of this at all." Anyway, interesting. Right, it is 10:30. I am 130 miles into this journey, and now cruising down the M80. There was very heavy rain for a while, and I wasn't catching up on the battery to where I needed to be, so I'm going to stop here, so one earlier than I'd hoped to get to, but I think that is actually my longest. That was going to be my longest, so I'm not that bothered. And I've just then been, after I'd made my mind up to do that, just set the cruise at 70, and I've been coming along from there. Right, I've never been to this, charger here before, so I'm not quite sure where it is, but I'm sure we'll find it in the car park somewhere, and I hope it is working okay. Okay, I can see 2 Ecotricity chargers. Lovely. Right by the entrance as well. Doesn't get better. Ah, look at that Land Rover. Completely in the way. Lovely. All right, good stuff. Now, hang on a minute, this one's CCS, and I'm going to go and plug in, I'm going to get the other one here, which has clearly got the AC on it, and then I'll have a nosy at the other one. I'm not sure if that has, no, it looks like, oh, that is just the CCS and the CHAdeMO on that one, so I will use this one. Right, good. That was a bit of a fail at Abington here, because there apparently, and I've been in touch with Ecotricity, there is good day. There's a fault with the AC connector, so it won't on the, I mean, even before ever anything happens to the car, at the charger itself, it is saying, when you normally get a screen saying connect to the charger to the car. It will come up saying with a green arrow when you've done it, so you know you've done it, and it can start charging. But it is not giving. It just has a red cross. It doesn't give you the green arrow to say that you've connected. So I tried a few times. No luck. However, so that's not going to work, but there is another public charger close to here, so I'm going to go and try that out instead. So that's nice to have a bit of redundancy in the network. So Ecotricity, a bit of a fail there. So instead, charge your car it's one of the Transport Scotland chargers. I'm going to go and try and find, which I do think it's quite close to here, which would be good. I don't want to go too off the beaten track. Goodness me, this person is dawdling around here. There may be a reason why they're dawdling, because they're trying to find their way out just as I am, but there we are. Okay, exit. So the downside with this charger is, if it's an e-volt charger, it might only be working at 17-18 kilowatts. So if that's the case, I will just charge as much as I need to get to the next rapid. So the Ecotricity ones generally, if it will connect, they work at full speed. So that's what you want to use. Whereas so many of the Transport Scotland ones, the e-volt chargers, are not set up right. They don't have the right electricity going to them, or whatever the reasons are, and they are not rapid chargers. They're more like medium chargers. So you don't get the same power output to the car as you do with proper rapid chargers. Anyway, 0.6 of a mile, so it's very close, this other charger. I think just in a car park, so here's hoping it's not iced in. In Abington, I am. So how many miles have we done? 170 miles. 20 miles on the battery. And I think this must be right in the middle of town. Bit early for anything, for lunch or anything. I'm going to get another, go another stop before, or two, before getting some lunch. Abington Hotel. I can safely say I have never been here before. Parking. Long stay, short stay. Right. I wonder where it's going to be. Ah, here it is. Right in front of me. Green lights. It is an e-volt, so one has to assume it's going to be crazy slow. However, we'll get a bit of juice. Right, so the surprise, surprise, APT e-volt is not working properly. I think it's a connection problem with. This is the huge weakness with these things when they're running off a 3G connection. When it's in a place that doesn't have a good signal, you're scuppered, because it can't talk to the it can't talk to the network, and so it just doesn't. It just says unauthorized user repeatedly. Oh, hang on a minute. That says no. How do I get out of here? I don't know how to get out of here. Must be down this way. Better not break the rules. So that's not great. Anyway, charge your car. Have put me onto another charger in Moffat, so that's where I am heading off to now. So in fact, let me put the postcode in, and we'll see if that one's working. Right, so this is getting a bit of a footer. DG 10 9 4. Okay, select. How far away is this? Ooh, 21 miles. 19 to go. Cool. That could, 19 I've got in the battery. That could be iffy. That could be very iffy. Right. We'll see what it says. So you'd think with 2 chargers, one of them would be working, wouldn't you? Alas, it is not the case. I have no idea. This thing is taking me all over the place. Right, let's make it back on. Right, I'm back on the motorway. 19.4 miles to this charger, 17 miles on the battery. I'm right up in the hills, so this is going to depend a little on how much downhill there is going on. So yeah, it could be close, could be very close. Getting there. So I think, yes, I'm in eco mode, and let me just follow a truck, and I can see some big hills in front of me. So yeah, you're building, you know, thinking, oh well, that's 2 there, that should be fine, but not always. Look at this empty car transporter next to me. It'd be so nice just to get a little lift, wouldn't it, on there. .8 miles and 16 on the battery. Some gentle coasting driving. .7 miles and 7 miles on the battery, so I have managed to make up a bit of juice through these hills by being gentle on the way down, gentle on the way up, coasting on the way down, picking up speed and letting that kind of scrub itself off as you're going back up the hill on the other side. So I've managed to get a little buffer to get to the next charger. But if it's not working, I've got problems then. Right, that is the motorway done. I've just come off the slip road. It's 1 mile to Moffat, where this other rapid charger is. I've still got 6 miles on the battery, so I did pretty darn well, considering when I left it was what, 21 miles and I had 18, 19 on the battery. Yeah, so that's okay. Less than a mile. Now, if this is not working, I'm goosed. I'll have to call Renault, and then because I'm sure the next charger is going to be more miles away than that. So that will be a pain and will add a lot of time, which I could do without. Yes. So this has been the first real hiccup. Okay, Moffat, here we are, half a mile. So the lady I spoke to in charge of car said the Charamo side is not working properly, but the AC side is at this one. We will see. Okay, this looks like a car park. In fact, I can see the charger. found it. That's a good sign. And it is completely dead. This is going to be a problem. I will be calling her back. The Moffat charger. Nothing going on here. But we're chatting. Look at that nice new Outlander PHEV, the FEV. That's the new model. All very glitzy, glam. Lots of chrome work going on there. Was just chatting to the owner of that, and who just, I think he just picked up yesterday or something like that, and so he was on it playing around and come down from Bigger to charge up here, and of course very disappointed also to find the charger's not working. Right, so Charge Your Car have been in touch with the council. The council, they're waiting to hear back to see if somebody can come and cycle the power to do see if they can get it kickstarted, and they've been in touch with APT to see if they can interrogate it at their end and do something with it. So it's bizarre. Charge Your Car can see it and can talk to it, but nothing is happening. But as you can see, I'm in the red here. So if this doesn't get up and running, I'll have to call Renault, and so that's going to put a complete. I mean, that's going to be. This has been over an hour now. I've been trying to get a charge here in Abington. Complete waste of time. So that'll add some more time to it. Not ideal. I'm still waiting. I've not heard anything back for probably about half an hour now from Charge Your Car. They were waiting to hear back from the council. So I've been checking the map, and I had about 5 miles left. I've kind of tipped down in the red here. It's about 8 miles to get to the next rapid charger at Johnston Bridge. I'm getting to the point of just thinking maybe I should just take the country road, the B road, and go jet slow and see if I can make it. Could be dicey. Not exactly comfort, but we're heading towards 2 hours since I first pulled over to get a charge after finishing leg 3, and I've gone an extra 20 miles since doing that, but I'm just twiddling my thumbs waiting, and with so many legs still to go, this is not great. So the frustrating thing this is a really frustrating thing about these chargers is it's all out of your hands. You can't do anything and when there's only one charger in a location, which you can understand because they're expensive, but they are not reliable enough as yet. So that does cause big issues. And then the crazy thing is that all 3 of these chargers were ostensibly online. As the folks that are running the network, they were working. Well, actually, the first one, it looked like it was online, but they did know that there was a problem with the AC side, but it didn't say that on their website. So you go in good faith, expecting it to work. So that's what I'm toying up. What do I do? Do I try and go for it? Or not? The problem with if I run out on the B, it's going to be on a B road. It's going to be in the middle of the road, on no doubt a small country road, which probably wouldn't be the safest thing. And I suspect I can probably make it. Oh, here's the phone. Hello.
Hello?
Hi there. Hello.
Hi, yes, is that Mr. Johnson?
Yeah, speaking.
Yes, hello, sorry about that. It's Pete calling from Charge Your Car.
Hi there. Hi.
Hello, right. Terrible, not good news, I'm afraid. We've called the council, they can't get anyone out at the moment.
Okay.
APT think it has completely tripped, so it will be an engineer visit, I'm afraid.
Right.
I'm terribly sorry about that. We've been looking around for charge points near you, anywhere on PlugShare and ZapMap and everything like that, but we can't seem to find anything.
Okay.
Right.
Right. Well, I don't know if I'll make it. I'm gonna try and head to the Johnston Bridge using the cross-country road, and if I stop, I'll have to call Renault anyway. So, all right. Yeah. All right. Well, thanks for trying. Okay.
No problem.
All right.
Thank you.
Cheers. Bye. Oh, well, there you go. I'm gonna go try it very gently. Let's see how we go. I'm not sure how many miles exactly it's going to be doing the cross-country route, but I don't want to go on the motorway. Well, I don't have the kind of the pressure of the countdown of miles, so that's nice. It's just the red blank. So we'll see how far we go. The limited performance sign came up just a minute ago. I'm not sure if that still usually stays on. No, it's not there. Oh, there it comes. So about 2 miles to go. Not sure if I'm going to make this or not. Well, I'm not quite sure. It's over a mile anyway to go to the. I'm not sure where this has taken me. If this is actually which side of Johnston Bridge this has taken me to, but stinking hill here. So I am in super eco mode. About a mile ago, the limited performance sign came up. So I'm not. I think we'll see. So I've had that come up before, the limited performance thing, and now it was a while. It must be over a year ago, something like that. No, it must be. I can't remember when it was. But when I did the kind of stress test, if you like, I wanted to see what does happen when it gets right to the bottom. Now this is the reason why you do that kind of thing, so you kind of know how the car is going to behave. So I am hopeful I will get there, but I don't think it's guaranteed. With the benefits of hindsight, I would have, and I so nearly did pull over when I was going past Hamilton and stop and just get a top-up charge there, but I was still well over half the battery when I got to that point. So I swithered on doing that, but that may not have been well, in fact that would have been the right thing to do, because it would have got me then I'd been fine for getting down to here, Johnston Bridge, without any worries, and it would have saved me a lot of time that I've had wasted faffing around. Well, we're here. I'm just going under the motorway. I'm not going to stop for anyone. I'm using my momentum, and I wish I knew where the charger was so I could just swing into it. But I'm that close now. I can almost taste it. Right, I'm looking into the, oh yes, I think I can see it. It is right below me and there's no one there. So I am cruising very gently. But I tell you what, my score should be blinking marvellous for my last sort of 30 miles of driving, which I've managed to, blimey, that's a Jag SUV. I don't think I've seen one of those before. Well, look at this. I have made it. That is pretty miraculous. Good old car. Now, 4th charger for this leg. This one better be working, because I'm not going anywhere else. Okay, I'm gonna go try. Card, there's a card. And I'm dying for a pee as well. Make matters worse. It's looking good. I had the connection on and well, look at this. 0%. Time remaining 55 minutes, 50 minutes. We are charging. Thank you, charger. That is a relief. 1%. It's already building up. Right. I've got to go for a pee and then I'll do another update. Oh, jingoes. I've just had some lunch and the car has been charging for 35 minutes, 22.8 kilowatts of energy has been transferred, and at 97%, so that's pretty good. I'm about to unplug and go, but I'm gonna just double check where I am planning to head next in my itinerary, which looks like heading down to CA11 ODQ, wherever that one is. 52.7 miles, so that this is quite a relatively short hop. Good, 99%. I'm definitely unplugging now. Okay, just heading out of Johnston Bridge, Road Chef, and the Ecotricity charger there, which saved my bacon and kept me motoring. Right, 85 miles I have left on the battery. This is not bad, I can arrange. Helped by pootering along very gently, that last part of it. Because part of that last battery charge, I was zipping along at 70, right? That was a good idea, wasn't it? Right, this is confusing way to get out of here. Hope I managed it out okay. Good. Let me have a look at my score. What's my score doing? 90 out of 100. That's not bad still for you know, motorway. It's all speed is my problem. Right, good. Where are we? The south, it says. Carlisle. Okay. On to the motorway we go. Right, 52.5 miles, it says, to the next charger. Hope it's working. We've just started charging. Yay. So this leg was, this is leg 4, was very straightforward, no problems at all. Down here still had 20 odd miles of range, a bit more than that I think left, and charger just worked immediately. 251 miles, and I have used exactly 70 kilowatt hours of energy, averaging 3.56 miles per kilowatt hour. There we are. That's where I'm at the moment. Okay. These are lovely new Ecotricity triple head chargers. And I never knew this place existed. I should have taken a bit of footage when I was down there. That was my mistake. It's like a whole underground shopping centre. I mean, it is literally underground. There's a kind of play area there, and then there's a kind of hill, and then you actually go in like through almost like into a cave. Never knew it existed. Very nice, very pleasant. Right, 78% on the battery after how long? 18 minutes. I'll get a little bit more and then see where I'm going to head to next. Good. Well, that was very effortless. 20-minute charge there. Got up to 92%, I think it was, something like that. And next stop's another 55 miles or so down the road. Lancaster, kind of down that way. Right. Oh, of course, it doesn't stay light very long at this time of year. Oh well, I've had a bit of a wild goose chase. Listening to my audiobook, and of course I'm following the sat nav. I put in the postcode for the services, and which is the one that's on the website, and glibly just followed the sat nav off the exit, thinking I was just coming to the services, but the sat nav was trying to take me to the northbound, and then palaver. There was no simple way to get back after I kind of realised what it was doing. So I've been all around the houses to get back on to the motorway, just to go this one extra mile to come off. So nice little jaunt down the country roads, but a bit of a pain, adding another 10-15 minutes to my journey. Anyway, I'm coming off here, so well, I'm hoping there is a charger here. It'd be even more of a bummer if there's only a charger on the north side. Anyway, I couldn't get into it. I did go past the north side one, but there was no way into it. You'd have to have gone into a no entry to get there. It's only off the motorway, obviously, access to it. So a bit of a palaver. Anyway, I am here and hunting for a charger. Looks like I can see them down here. Very good. And what have we got here? There's a triple one. I will use that. Alright, so Lancaster, and hopefully this will be working fine. I'm getting old. I keep needing toilet breaks. It's shocking. Oh, not good. At Knutsford, I've been trying to sort out things back at home, all kind of things, and various correspondence. So, which all that faffing around, I've been here 29 minutes, and I'm at 98%. So that's time to unplug. I think I'm going to head down to the M6 toll for next one. That's 55 miles away. What I'm not sure about is, surely, because I don't have any cash on me, surely you can pay by card for the toll. And I'm not getting any interweb on my phone here to check that. I'll go for it. Surely you can. We're living in a modern age, aren't we? Okay, time to unplug here. Okay. Have to say these last few stops have been exactly what I hoped for this journey, in that they've been a piece of cake. Oh, look at this. I suddenly seem to have got a connection up. Norton Kane services. I'm on the M6 toll now. It looked like some bad, actually it was quite heavy traffic coming in to here. Of course the toll road is lovely and clear. Roadworks for miles and miles and miles north of Birmingham, and the M6 itself blocked, I think closed, it said, between a couple of junctions. Anyway, so that's quite nice coming off on the toll. So coming to these services here, and again, well, I had quite a lot at the 50 mile an hour average cameras, but the rest of the way was going with the flow of the traffic, kind of 60-70 miles an hour. And 21 miles left in the range, looks like kind of 2 bars. That's about 25%, so no problems there. And I need to find the chargers. I can pay, there's a big sign there, I can pay by card for the toll, so that's a relief. These things that you don't check beforehand that you probably should. Okay, so apart from all the shenanigans at Abington, I mean, the rest of this has played out exactly as I would have hoped, and has been, completely fine, seamless, no problems. He says now, not having a clue where the chargers are. Overflow parking. Let's go down here, see if it's down here. The one thing, oh yes, I can see them now. Yeah, the one thing about the ecotricity chargers is that like some of the APT chargers, they've got the big lights on the top, the green lights, so it's very easy to spot them across a car park, whereas the ecotricity ones, the electric highway chargers, do not. So you've got to kind of look for the signs and hunt around. But here they are, again, nice new triple headers. So we will plug in, and I think 8 o'clock I'm going to get something to eat here. Right, had some dinner, and it was about 40 minutes, 42 minutes or something like that at the charger, and it was up to 99%, so that's pretty good. So heading to the next stop now. I think I need a whoopsie. New halls and old shoes. Now I think the next one, when I was looking online, it looked like it was offline. Let me see if I can check which was going to be. What the heck? Warwick welcome break. So I just decided to go for it. So going to the Warwick southbound on the M40 services fingers crossed that they are working. But I'm kind of cruising a little bit slower than I was, around 63 indicated, so probably around about 60. And I have 27 miles on the battery more than the distance. So just in case it's not working, I have plenty of backup juice to get to another charger nearby, and I'm sure there'll be plenty of other ones that are near, but I just would have to come off the M40 probably. Yeah, I don't think I'd make it all the way down to Beaconsfield, which is where I'm heading to the services there, get a top up, and then head to the hotel for the night. 50 mile an hour limit on the road here, so I will come down a little. We're getting to the toll plaza, and my wallet here so I can get my card out for that. Right, I need to look for the right one. How much is it? £5.50. £5.50. Right, let's have a look. Card. I think they're all card ones, by the looks of it. That's okay. Card only. Oh yeah, I'll go for that one. If I can find it. Card only, there we go. Aston Martin accelerating away over there, sounds pretty nice. Can't get rid of that motor petrol head thing in me. Right, put in card. Wow, simple as that. Piece of cake. That's the way to do it. They probably take 550 quid off your account for the ease of use. Okay, so 38 miles to the next stop. This is a very short kind of jaunt to this next one, but it was the obvious next one on the motorway, and just a brief top up there to get me the rest of the way down. So it should be just one more stop along the way and then another stop at my destination, but there isn't a charger at the hotel, so I'll need to go and get a rapid charge at the services and then go to the hotel. That's okay. So back at 9 o'clock, not too bad actually. I must admit, with all what was going on at Abington, Moffat, I was starting to get very worried that I was not going to get down until the small hours of the morning. Since then, it's been a piece of cake. It's been no problems at all. So this is a frustrating thing. You get a glimmer of what it should be like. Well, in fact, more than a glimmer. I mean, most of the journey has been absolutely fine. It was just that little section there, and a fellow Zoe driver, Sandy, saying on Facebook that this is. The challenge is, quite often there are multiple chargers, so you have a bit of redundancy. But if you do find, as I found there, that the little gaggle of chargers in an area are all down and not working, then you can be right royally messed up. So I could have got around that if I just stopped one ahead, which I nearly did, as I said earlier. I would have avoided all of that, and I wouldn't even have been aware of the Abington chargers being down and what was going on there. But I didn't. I did carry on with my kind of schedule and my itinerary, and paid the price for it. But what could I do? They all look like they were online, so they are. So there's the wee kicker, that it's just, you can't rely on it 100%. So the rest of this journey, well, fingers crossed. We'll see what happens. There's still 2 more charges to use. It is, it's absolutely seamless, and shows how easy this could be. But they need to be reliable, absolutely reliable, or the redundancy that's working. So, yeah, there we are. The other thing is, so I've been on the road since 6:30 this morning, and it's after 9 o'clock in the evening now. And at no point during that journey have I felt the dreaded nodding head of exhaustion, which I confess I have felt numerous times when I've been driving the other cars and you're doing like a 2 or 3 hour stint behind the wheel. Because you're only doing an hour and 20 minutes, something like that, behind the wheel, you're just not. I totally feel fine. I feel, and this is on less than 4 hours of sleep last night. I was hoping to get a good night's sleep, but had meetings running way late into the night, and so that didn't happen. So it is a lot safer. I mean, it really is a lot safer driving this way with frequent breaks, a chance to get some fresh air, have a walk around. I've only had 2 cups of coffee at a couple of the stops, partly because it keeps making me want to pee. I've been trying to avoid that the last few stops. Diet Coke instead. I'm sure that doesn't help much, but hey. Right, 20 miles to Coventry, London 114 miles, just on the sign we're going by, so not bad. I've done 430 miles. They are 33 miles to the next stop. The weather has taken a turn for the worse. It's raining away now. I'm nearly at the Warwick services, that's the sign for it, just 3/4 of a mile. What's noticeable is that the temperature has been basically the same the whole way down, 10 degrees. A few areas went down to 9, there was one bit when I was kind of up the top of the hills, it was 8. But it's been very stable temperature on the way down. So I kind of said, I'll just cruise down here a bit slower. I couldn't be bothered. I've had it cruise control set at 70. Road's lovely and clear now. So I have 18 miles left of contingency, just in case there's an issue with the charges here. Hoping not. Right, usual story. Where are they? Coaches, vans, cars. Right, there's BP. Starbucks drive-through, no less. Okay, well, there I can see some lights on one of the chargers. That's a good sign. Ooh, this is Waitrose. This is a fancy-pantsy one. Right. Well, they look like they're all on, so we'll try it and see. Hopefully this will just work. Okay, so same problem at this one here. I've just been in chatting to the staff, and they've told me to use this the kind of service road to get to a wee bridge to head over northbound. So I'm just going to try that and see if I can find it. So I need to go back into the coach park area, they said, and try and find my way over. So anyway, I'm going to turn the light off so I can kind of see what I'm doing to enable me to do that. let me, as I say, go across the very windy roads, across the bridge, more windy roads, fighting against the one-way system. But I'm on the northbound carriageway, and this one's working fine, so it is charging now. All right, so that's good. I'll let it charge up a bit and put in what should be my final. Oh yes, my final destination. Beaconsfield service area. So we'll put that in the sat nav, see how many miles we're going to go, and probably just kind of cut it to as close as I can, basically, to get down there. All right. I've left the services there at just when it clicked to 99% in the battery, and instead of going back on the service road and twiddling around and getting all kind of having to go the wrong way around the one-way system on the other side, I had to cut through the service road to get out onto another road, and then I'm just taking the kind of, must be the old road, and then I'll down to the next junction. It's probably a slightly more direct route. It took a few miles off my anticipated distance. So at the moment I'm about tallying, so 65 miles on to go and 66 on the battery, but then I've been the last 3 or 4 charges pretty much cruising along at 70. So I'll maybe do this next cruise kind of 60ish, and which should be then fine for my last stop. Yay! And then bed, which I'm looking forward to. Just coming off at Beaconsfield services to put some juice in the car. This is my last stop, and then to the hotel, which is somewhere near here, I hope. So I think it was about 70 odd miles when I left, and it's pretty much been mowed away the whole way down, and 15 miles I've got remaining on the battery, so 85 miles out of a full charge. It's not bad in the beginning of December. I have been cruising behind truck a lot. It's mostly been trucks on the motorway, so I've been kind of cruising behind them. All right, this looks like it in here. This looks like quite a big place. Extra. Anyway, I'm gonna let this charge and then off to bed, get some sleep. But I am quite amazed at how I feel kind of tired, but I don't feel drowsy, if you know the difference. Which, if you're driving at night, having driven all day, and it's dark and there's not an awful lot of traffic, it's just kind of pootering along, that you can start to feel very drowsy. Of course, I've been listening to to an audiobook, which always helps, I find, keep you engaged as you're travelling. And I've been listening to The Man in the High Castle. I've just watched the TV version of that's on Amazon Prime, I think, video, which I thought was very good. And then I thought, well, I'd like to... Where are these chargers? I have no idea where these chargers are here. I'd like to read the original book, so I've been listening to that on my way, which has been great. Right, okay. I am not seeing these chargers. Where are they? Where are they? Gosh, lots of ambulances around it. Ah, there they are. They are kind of tucked away. Boop. The usual 2 Ecotricity chargers, and here's hoping this one actually connects for me. All right. Oops. And we are charging. So let me get a little bit of a video. Right, Beaconsfield services, final charge. So we got down with about 20%. Remaining, it is just after midnight. So maybe half an hour here and then off to the hotel. Oh, I'm gonna be so pleased to get to rest up. And then, so tomorrow, I'm actually not travelling very far, but I'm going to go into London to a shopping centre, which I can't remember the name of, where there's a whole heap of charging points, and I have where is it? Source London card. So that'll be probably the only time I'll use that card, and then from there on it will be I'll take the tube to Knutsford, where I'm going for the afternoon, then back later in the evening, I guess. Probably hit all the rush hour traffic trying to get out, and then start heading up the road all the way back again. Now, so I've still got a few miles to go to get to the hotel, but 530 miles, 531 basically. There we are. Right, update social media and all that stuff while I'm here. Well, one can hope. Right. I think I got to the hotel about 12:30. By the time I kind of have fiddled around trying to find parking space, not so straightforward. Anyways, so how many miles left? About 534, 535 miles today. A few more to go tomorrow into London, but not much, and then later tomorrow heading back. It's a long way for an afternoon, hey, but it'll be worth it. Right, time for bed. Good night's sleep, must admit. Had no problems falling asleep. Right, I'm just putting the sat nav. It's Westfield shopping centre that I'm heading to, which is near Shepherd's Bush, where I believe there are some chargers and parking. So I will head in there. It's only 23 miles into town, and it says on the sat nav 37 minutes, including 6 minutes delay. So if I can't get a charging plate, it's not the disaster. Though it would be very disappointing having gone to all the trouble to get a Source London card. But I've got 73 miles of range left on the in the car, having charged last night, so I can always later head back out and you know, charge on one of the motorway chargers on my way homeward. So not a disaster, but it would be nice to come to the car and have it fully charged. that's for sure. And actually let it get 100% charge, which has not had a full conditioning charge the whole way down. There's been all these rapid charges, so that might be quite nice for the battery. Right, otherwise I was I was out as soon as I had my Kindle with me. I think I read maybe 1.5, not even, I don't think it was even 2 pages on the Kindle, and then I was asleep. So slept well, nice cooked breakfast, and ready to meet the day. So I'm going to today the church that I grew up in, which is a big church in the middle of London, and they're having an anniversary celebration today. So hoping to meet lots of old friends from years gone by and catch up, some good memories, and be there for that celebration. So looking forward to that, so that'd be good. And I mean, it's only when I get to the Westfield shopping centre, it's only a few stops on the tube to, let me take it off eco mode so I can get better speed going here. Though I think it's two different lines, but it shouldn't take too long to get to Knutsford, right in the West End. So that'd be good. All right, enough from me for this morning. I was thinking to myself, wow, this is not bad at all. Cruising along the M40, or the A40 as it is now, at 70 miles an hour, all clear. Well, it lasted a few miles. So the sat-nav says 2 minutes, very slow delay, then a little bit later a 1 minute delayed proceedings. So if it's only a 2 minute delay, it must be because there's something has happened up here, I'm guessing. Otherwise I would expect it to be kind of busy all the rest of the way in. Oh, I suppose, are we coming up to the M25? Maybe. Anyway, it's busy. And I've pulled into the, you know that, when the traffic comes to a stop, you decide which lane you're going to be in, and whichever lane you decide to be in will be the slowest lane. It's a law. However, I was following a van, and I hate being in stop-start traffic where all you can see is the front of or the back of a van or a truck. You can't see any further ahead. So I just decided to pull into a different lane so that there are a few cars and you can see the whole road in front of you. Right, well, not much I can do apart from chunter on, but I've got plenty of time. So yeah, there's a lady, she's standing in the central reservation, but her Fiesta has died in the fast lane. Yay. So that's what's causing the blockage. I sure hope they can get somebody to her quick. That is not safe. Right, okay, the rest of the way should be plain sailing. Right, that must be Heathrow we're just going past. Wee shrunken lampposts. Not been down this road in years. Going past the Hoover building. Which I remember, very kind of Art Deco style building, and modern offices to let. Tesco sign outside it now. Hey. Oh dear. So only 5 miles away. Of course, we're into a whole average speed camera area, which is now down to 40. It was 50 earlier. And but traffic's still moving, so that's okay. I just wonder, this is so London. Oh, there's a Leaf That's one of the first electric cars I've seen in England. So a couple of long chats with people in Scotland at different chargers, and then I haven't seen a single other EV driver. All those stops coming down through England yesterday. Strange. I wonder if I'll see anyone later today, tomorrow. Ah, London, London, London. The things that I don't miss about London. So I grew up in Kent, but coming in and out of London all the time, and well, it's a lot worse than it used to be. I think it's a lot worse, the traffic, than when I moved away from London, which is about, well, more than 20 years ago now, 22 years ago, and occasionally back, but not very often. I think the last time I actually we were back a couple of years ago with family, but before that would have been about 7 or 8 years since I'd been driving down. And yes, you get awful used to sitting in traffic. But good thing is, I am not contributing to the local pollution in any way while sitting in this traffic. Coming off the A40, I can see Westfield shopping centre to my right, and I tell you, coming in on the A40, it is there are so many cameras. The sat nav is like, there it goes, another one, is every kind of 30 seconds it is chiming at you about a speed camera, about a traffic light camera, so it's just an endless stream of dings coming at you. Nice to have the warnings, I guess, but when it's, yeah, when it's all the time, it gets a bit maybe a bit redundant. Okay, I gotta tell you, satellite navigation, one of the best inventions for transport ever, particularly when you're trekking around into parts that you've not been to for a long time, and where roads often have changed anyway. Absolutely brilliant. Right, Westfield, I can, oh, it's blinking huge. This is all brand new to me, don't remember any of this. So nearly here, and this is my destination for the journey for Zoe. So this is as far as Zoe is going to go. I will go a little bit further into London myself, but this is the end of the road until later today when we turn around and head back. Hope I can find these chargers. I have used 3 bars on the battery. 3 of the sections are away on the battery. Not too bad. And of course there are roadworks even here. My goodness, there's a lot of building going on. Look at all these cranes. I wonder what this is. Nothing ever stays still. Charging bays. I can see them around the side. Ooh, look at these lovely Teslas. That's quite sweet, isn't it? One can dream, one can dream. Oops, somebody's left there. Oh no, I'll have to go to this one. Lovely. Oh blimey, sometimes these electro bay ones are a right pain for I've found in the past. Okay, let's try it and see what happens. Ongoing checks. Right. So I have had a few issues with some of these electromotive charging points in the past, where it struggles to communicate. So we'll see what it does here, if it manages to go through okay. So this is a problem I often have. The few times I've used these Electrobay, this same issue, and it's a problem with these particular chargers in talking with the Zoe, and so that's very frustrating. The last time I had this in Edinburgh, I just left the car, and bizarrely, while I was away, it did actually connect and charge. So it wasn't charged up all the way, but it obviously charged about 30% of the battery sporadically. So I'm tempted to leave it and just see what happens. It's frustrating. There are quite a lot of other chargers here, so I think it's okay. But God, pain in the neck. Quite a collection of electric cars here, though. And then all the Teslas down the other end. Nice. Original Nissan. Don't care so much about the Bentley. Look at that, beautiful. Long day, fun day. It has taken me, I kid you not, about 15 minutes trying to find the car. This Westfield car park is an absolute blinking disaster. What is this guy doing? Is he moving? I need to get out. What are you doing? What are you doing? And Anyway, I got back to the car and 59%. So it had not, I was kind of, because a few times I've used one of these electro bays, although it has, well, as I said to you earlier, it kind of farts around. Sometimes it has actually charged for me once it gets going. Not this time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Teslas charging at the moment there. God, must be nice. I have no idea how to get out of here. Exit. There you go. So I will need to go back to Beaconsfield to charge up, which I've got plenty of charge to get out there. It's 6:50. Right, good. That should be us. Right, that's it. Straight onto the A40 now. Boom. So I think it's just straight out here. Good. So I should have showed a little bit of video of stuff for inside London, and had a lovely time catching up with folks I haven't seen in ages. So that was great. So a little bit of personal background. That is the church that I grew up in. My father was the organist there. It's quite a big church, so he was an organist and choir master for about 20 years, from 1968 to 1988, the year that he died. And so I grew up in there, and so this explains why I am a Church of Scotland minister with an English accent, is that I grew up in Kent down here, but going regularly and as part of one of the 2 Church of Scotland congregations in the middle of London. So that there in a nutshell is why. And my I'm in and the connection to Aberdeen, hang on a minute, Oxford, I'm going to be going up that way, there we are. My mum is from Aberdeen. In fact, she met my father in Aberdeen at the university. So that's that whole connection there. Right. So I've been pondering what I'm going to do on the way back, whether I should go a different route or not, and I'm actually going to try and get quite a bit of the way tonight. What is it? It's nearly 7 o'clock, and that means, because I want it to be kind of as easy as possible, I'm going to head back the way I came, so that I have already got some experience of the chargers on the way down, and more specifically I know which ones to miss out that aren't working, so that I can rearrange what I'm doing there, which seems to me to make a lot of sense. So that means, however many miles it is, 500 odd miles or something, back to Aberdeen. Yay! Oh, lots of stops along the way though, so that should be good. Right, so that's me. 49 miles on the range, 19 miles to the charger, and I'll get a pretty full charge there, because the next jump to Warwick I think was 70 odd miles, so I want that to be easy. Though I got down with about over 10 miles spare, I think it was, if I remember rightly, last night, so it shouldn't be a bother. Okay, it's not so fun driving through a city at night when you're not 100% sure where you're, you know, it's not that I don't know where I'm going. I do know where I'm going. It's what lane to be in. That's the big thing driving in a city, is that you don't want to be in the wrong lane and then really irritate people by then having to stop and move and all that stuff. It is 12 degrees here. Let me tell you, I am so used to Aberdeen that I went for quite a walk around before going to the church, to St Columba's, because it's all old places I used to go, and I was hot, and the tube, of course, the tube is hot. Central Line is hot. I went round Circle Line, is quite shallow, so not so bad, but Central's a bit deeper. The deeper you go, the warmer it gets. So yeah, that was pretty uncomfortable. I'm used to this 2-degree malark over the last week or two in Aberdeen. So it was fun walking around old places. It's an area that I grew up in and around. And as a boy, because it's Kensington and Chelsea, I mean, even when I was young, there were, the money, huge amounts of money available. Not that we ever had any, but I used to love going around to look at the cars. And sure enough, today, just on the street, saw a Diablo, a Murcielago, a Ferrari 458 Italia, I think it was. And but the nicest car I saw today was one of the original Datsun Z cars. Now, I didn't actually have a look to see if it was I think it must be the 240Z, and it was a K reg. So would that make it 74? Something like that. And it was immaculate, beautiful, lovely. Parked right next to a new Bentley, and it looked a lot better than the Bentley, in my humble opinion. I know which one I would rather have. The Bentley, because then I could sell it and buy 15 other cars. All right, heading out on the road, and it's charging fine, 38% to go. So all that trouble I went to go and get myself a Source London card for Nout, because it didn't work at all, that charger. Those stupid Electra Bay chargers, they are a right pain. They just yeah, not brilliant. Now I mentioned some of the cars I saw in London. One of the things that I hadn't really thought of, but it was really noticeable, that there was an incredible number of Toyota Priuses and Prius Plus. Now, I don't even know if I've ever seen a Prius Plus, and I've actually looked at them as a possibility for our changing our Picasso, but of course it's not a plug-in hybrid. If it's a plug-in version, I'd be much more interested in it, but it is just a, what do they call it, a soft hybrid, and when it's just a very small battery pack, it gives you like a mile on electric, so it's really very much more supplementary kind of thing, rather than a kind of full dual motor sort of deal. But loads of those, of course, because of the congestion charge, but they were everywhere, absolutely everywhere. So that was kind of surprising. Didn't expect that. Gliding along, they were mostly going along silently, has to be said. So there you go. Way down, I was moaning about not being able to, not meeting any other. Oh, hang on a minute, turn the music off. Not meeting any other EV drivers. So I have just had a long conversation with a guy, Martin Sadler, who works for Nissan. I think it was Westway Nissan. Anyway. So that Nissan was brought on the back of a flatbed because it had been loaned to somebody as a loan car, and they had just driven it until basically the battery was dead at their house and not charged up or anything. So when he came to pick it up, of course there was not enough charge to get back to the dealer, so they had to get it put on a flatbed, charge up. Anyway, very nice chat with him. Very kindly bought me a coffee. So a bit of advertising for Nissan there, which happy to give. And so yeah, lots of chat about where Nissan are going with their electric cars, and I was having a moan about 7-seat electric cars, of which Nissan of course do produce one, but it's based on the Leaf platform, which is frankly, because it's a bigger, more bluff car, the range is not nearly as good, 50 miles kind of thing. I think if you're really to be safe, which would not work for us as a family car at all. So let me get the sat nav sorted. Yeah, anyway, that was nice. So I got my conversation in. Right, on to the M40. I've got 70 miles to go back to Warwick charger, and on my way down, the sat nav got all very confused and started trying to send me to the was it that one? Oh, I get myself confused now which one it was. Anyway, it will get me there up to yeah, was it Warwick one, the one I had to go to the... Oh, I see, I got so confused now. Oh no, was it the Warwick one that I wasn't working and I had to go to the northbound carriageway anyway? I think that was that one, wasn't it? So I know the northbound one is working because I used it last night. 70 miles or so to go. So I've got 88 miles on the battery here, having done a mile or so, and so we should be fine, but the weather is turning a bit wet, so I might find a little truck and kind of follow a truck for a while, so I get my kind of average high and then maybe speed up a little as I get closer. All right, so of course the car is almost full. It was at 99%, and it was at 99% for quite a while because we were chatting away. So I was there longer than I would ordinarily be. I didn't get a chance to change as I'd wanted to because of our blethering. So that'll have to wait until the next stop. But I'm caffeined up, so there is a great bonus. Lights out, motor time. Oh my word, it is bucketing down out there. It is miserable. Just got drenched walking from the door to here, then unplugging the car's all misted up inside. I managed to get changed though, that's good. In fact, let me just turn the fan down a little bit while I'm blethering. Fully charged here, up to 99%. It's raining so badly, I'm sitting in the toilet and suddenly water starts pouring down from the roof inside the toilet, coming through the light fittings and everything. It is torrential rain out there. Not the most pleasant for a long drive back. Anyway, there we are. Not much I can do about it. Right, next stop, because I'm just going to get going and hope that this doesn't follow me the whole way up the road. Though I rather fear if I'm running with it, and I seem to be running with a tailwind, because I made it up here with 20 miles or so spare, and the last half of the journey I was going at full at 70 miles an hour. Full speed, 65 miles or so. So yeah, that was which is great actually for the economy. That gives me a few more options if that continues on. The downside is if that wind is blowing all this weather along, it's just going to get more miserable. Recent destinations, unnamed road, Norton Keynes. That'll get me there. Right, good.
Toll charge.
There is a toll. Thank you. How many miles? Oh, 47 miles. I can blatter this away. I've got 82 miles on the battery, it says. Good. Right, it is super. I'm going to have to use a bit of heat and everything because it is super horrible in here. Bit of aircon to get it cleared up. Right. On the M42, coming up towards the M6 toll road. The weather is not improving very much. It's I mean, it's actually not raining very heavily, but wow, it's there's a huge amount of water on the roads. It obviously has been raining very heavily here, so when you're going past trucks, it is mental, the spray coming off them. And there are occasional very bad patches on the roads of puddles, standing water. So I'm just slowing down. There's a 50 mile an hour limit here now. In fact, that limit seems to have cleared since we've just been there. You get to the standing. So I've had the cruise control basically on at 70 the whole way, but it has the standing water is so bad the car is aquaplaning, and when it does that, it clearly triggers the stability control, and as soon as the stability control is triggered, if you've got the cruise control on, it just cancels it immediately. So that has been happening. It's that bad. It is really, really windy out there. So I am wondering, let's go on a weather thing and see. You could hear the fans at the back immediately kicking in, the battery cooling system, which is it. So this really interesting document, PDF, which I think it was like an information thing for Renault technicians. I mean, it's not like a how-to guide. It's not that complicated, you know, detailed. But it does give some really interesting information that I've never seen elsewhere, including like all the different parts of the battery cooling system. And it had, I knew the battery because I've seen pictures of the battery pack, and it's kind of flat, but at the back, under where the seats, the rear seats are, it kind of goes up, and there are 3 holes in that whenever you see the battery pack, kind of 3 round bits. And I knew it was air cooled. You know, there are fans, which I can hear right now, blowing to blow air around the battery pack for temperature management. But I wasn't ever quite like, how does that actually work? Are there actually fans in those 3 kind of holes that are blowing air, and then where does that air go? And does it go out into the, you know, what happens if you drive through rain? Can water get sucked in? Well, of course, having seen this document, it is a completely sealed system, which makes sense, and it's under the boot, I think it must be. There's a whole kind of unit which is connected to the climate control system of the car, where the actual fan is, and then it blows in the center of the 3 holes, and then the exhaust comes back, and then it cycles round, and it blows the air through the middle of the battery pack, and then it goes through all the different modules and then back out again. And so that's how. Well, yeah, anyway, I thought that was quite intriguing, interesting. So that was one thing I don't need to worry about. Is like, oh, what happens if you drive through big puddles, and does the water actually get in because of the cooling? No, of course not. Duh. Right, I'm gonna get something to eat finally. Some food here because it is late and I'm starving. Didn't get any lunch, so I'm very hungry. And I'm going to check the weather while I'm at it to see which direction this wind is going, whether it's helping me or not. Alrighty, I'm at Knutsford, working my way back, and then next stop I've just put in the sat nav will be near Lancaster. So heading up towards the Lake District. Now, Got a BMW i3 next to me, which I think must have charged briefly while I was in. When I arrived here at the Ecotricity chargers, the triple head one had an error message on the screen. So when I pulled up to it, that's why I saw that, and I just backed up and then went to the other one next to it, which is where I'm charging at the moment, up to 93%. And then when I came back out, I saw this i3 sitting here, and the message had cleared, and it looked like it had taken a charge from using the CCS. So I assume that was the i3 taking a bit of charge. So yeah, so obviously the error message can't have been anything too serious. I should have investigated a bit further, but this one was working fine, and in fact that allowed the CCS for this other car next to me, we i3. Okay, thankfully it's got a bit drier now, which is nice. However, on Facebook I've been hearing there may be snow in the borders. Joy, oh joy. And I saw a Renault ZOE on my way up here. Lots, and as I drove past, I tooted on the horn, and then realised, oh, actually, maybe I shouldn't have done that on the motorway. So, because I was going quite a lot faster, I was at 70 on the cruise. I think the other one must have been doing 60-ish, 55, 60. So I wheeled past. So if you're watching this, that was me. Anyways, right, 95%. I think that's enough. I've only got 54 miles to the next stop, so I'm going to unplug and head on. It's 45 minutes past midnight. I'm gonna, yeah, I'll keep going another stop at least. I've got a nice Costa latte here, keep me going for a while yet. All right, 96%. Yee, by gum, it is getting cold. Well, actually, it's not. It's only 7 degrees, but I've been had a wee snooze in the car. It's 3 a.m. While it charged up to still only 99%, and it must have been, oh, I forgot I was looking, but it must have been charging for a good hour or so. However, it was quite nice to have a bit of a snooze, so I might just do the same next time I charge up. Right, I'm trying to think where I'm going next. This one up here, Penrith, nearly 800 miles down now on this wee trek, but still quite a ways to go. So I'm thinking I may try and get up for kind of breakfast-ish sort of time to a friend of mine in Lanark, and then I'm gonna head to IKEA in Glasgow. There's some things I need to pick up, and I was pondering on trying to stop at an IKEA on the way, but just because of the time and everything, I was leaving and all that, that's not worked out. So instead, where am I going here? It must be this way. I'm going to go into Glasgow, and it's stupid. I just need some tea lights, but this the wee glass glimmer glass things they go in for a children's event that we're doing next week. So that's all I need, but I can't get them delivered or anything. They are thinking about opening an IKEA kind of delivery point in Aberdeen. Oh, that'd be so good for this kind of stuff. But it is not there yet, so I have to go and get these things. but there's a charger there, so I can plug in the electricity charger. Okay, back onto the M6. A big fail. So far the electric highway or the electricity chargers have been working faultlessly all this way up. I'm in the way up North Pennines kind of, and one of the ones I stopped at on the way down, I was just coming back to start to go to there. It is closed. So it was in the car park for a kind of shopping area, and there's a petrol station right next to it. And when I pulled up, there's a big barrier across. So I went to the guy in the petrol station, and he said, yeah, it closes at 5:30 or something. So, I mean, that is the bizarrest location for the chargers. I mean, that's insane location for the chargers when it's just near the main trunk road. So, yeah, they need a... That's just nuts. And so the guy said, well, if I'd come before 11, he'd have been able to open the gate to let you in to charge, but because he's the only person on, he can't leave the shop, which I can understand that. But that's no use to man the beast. So I'm glad I didn't... well, actually, I was cruising along at 70, just about all the way. But I've got 16 miles left, and there is another, looked like another charger on the sat-nav saying there's another charger, another 11 miles up the motorway, so I will go to that. And, but yeah, that's... So yeah, hopefully this one is working fine. I haven't used this one, so this is a bit unknown. The other one worked a treat on the way down. So he said to me, if you want to wait till 6 in the morning, that's when it'll be opened up again, which is another 2 hours time. Like, don't really want to wait that long. So fingers crossed this charger's working. If it's not, I'll only have about 4 miles range left, and that won't be good. Dear. I'm sure it'll be fine. And where I am, I'm not getting much internet access, so I couldn't check on the map to see if it's online or on PlugShare when it was last used and all that stuff. So a bit of a step into the unknown, which I was hoping this whole journey back I'd just be stopping at chargers I have already used yesterday, so I know they're working well. Oh well. Okay, well, thankfully, and this is, as I was saying earlier, the Renault update, and in fact there was just a recent update. I'd kind of gone on and checked the store before leaving, and there was another update to the charging station, so I had just put that in on the card and updated the system with them. It's pretty reliable now, in that it is pretty up to date. So I just, when I realized, hey, I can't get to this one, went through the sat nav, find my nearest charger, and it told me 12 miles up the road is another charger. So got up here with about well, it must have been about 10-11% on the battery, so maybe 7-8 miles left, something like that, and I am merrily charging, so all is fine. But that is a weird placement for those chargers back at the last place I was at. So I think maybe worth a wee tweet to at Electric Highway to let them know about that, because that could lead you right astray. That could. I'm nearly at the point of stopping this. I'm heading back to Johnston Bridge, which is the place that saved my bacon on the way down, which I got to with 0%. But because I've got an extra 10 miles or 12 miles to get here, it's a less distance. There's only 41 miles to it. But it's still, I'm at 88%, and it's still, you know, it doesn't really slow down above 8. It's really at 90% that it really slows down the charge. So I might as well just let it charge up to around about there, because it's charging still at the kind of full rate at this point. So what I was wondering on the way up, and I'm not going to do it now, but so because you had to be much more careful with charging, you know, in the past, and really you needed to know, and so I tend to kind of research, you know, before on a long journey, making sure there's enough space for charge and all of that. But I am wondering now if we are at the point where in the car you could just set the destination for where you want to go, and so the sat nav always comes up with, do you want to add charging points along the way? And I always ignore it because I'm so used to, I've already done that work myself, so I'm relying on the information that I have at hand and thinking I probably know better than the sat nav because I kind of researched which ones were working and all that kind of stuff. So, but now, and just like that experience I've just had for getting to this one, I'm wondering if actually maybe you can just, it is the network has got to the point where you could just say, yep, that's fine. You tell me when I need to stop and charge, and I'll just follow the sat nav. So if the network is good enough to allow that, I mean, that's a really big step, I think, for encouraging people who are not so nerdy and geeky as I am, and as kind of first adopters are with new technology, to get on board, and it just becomes so much easier then. That's the problem with that, is if somebody's in that kind of frame of mind and then you get to one that is closed or it doesn't work or something like that, then that would be a right stumbling block. But it feels like to me it's close. It's really close to that being possible. Yeah, 94%. I'll let it get up to 95, and then I will unplug, and then I can go. Well, I can certainly do 70 all the way up with no bother. That's plenty of charge, and I should have loads left when I get up there, and nearly at the border. There we are. Welcome to Scotland. Back over the border at 5 a.m. Just leaving Johnston Bridge. Stayed there for about an hour and a quarter, I guess. Had some breakfast after having a nap, and let the car just charge fully to 100%, which took a while, taking over an hour to do. So I think that's the first time on this journey I've let it do that, the whole conditioning things, or whole conditioning cycle. So I'm sure that's probably a good thing. So I'm going to, it's 7 o'clock in the morning nearly. I've got a friend in Lanark who it's a bit early, but I may pop in and see them. They kind of know, they do know I'm on my way up. So I'll maybe drive slowly this bit, pop in, have a cup of coffee before I then move on from there. And they also have a Renault ZOE and a charger in the garage. So a meeting of minds. It is properly snowy here. Not snowing at the moment, but I don't know if you can see out the way the camera is positioned, but the fields are covered in snow. There's kind of snow piled up at the sides of the road. Road is completely clear, just wet. So there's a part of me that's hoping it would be a bit snowy. I've yet to drive, after 2 years, yet to drive Zoe in kind of proper snow. I've had a little bit of a sprinkle occasionally, but we get no snow in Aberdeen, really. Too close to the coast for that. So I'm heading across country to Lanark, have a coffee. Earlier than I anticipated. I thought I might be a bit later, well, 9-10 o'clock by the time I got up here. So and that includes having, a couple of longer charges where I had a nap. So I made very good time coming back up. And so far on the journey up, in fact, and on the journey down, at no time have I had to wait for a charge. Always the AC has been clear. So that helps you, and you're travelling long distances as well. So I have one of the other kind of days when I had lots of driving to do. I also had to wait a couple of times for chargers to become available. Now you're not waiting very long, maybe 20 minutes or something like that, but it all adds up to your time. Hello.
The latest charge.
That's awesome.
It's quite neat though, isn't it?
That is a nice, neat installation, yeah. Because quite a lot of other folks have got them outside, of course, just on the side of the house. Hey, that's not bad. Look at that. This car has never been so nicely treated. It's usually just abused.
We take care of cars.
Exactly. You're too nice. 95%. That's good. I'm not even going to need a charge at IKEA. I'm heading to Stirling, so. It was an early arrival at Friends. You don't normally arrive at Friends at 8 in the morning, do you? But there you are. Anyway, good to see them have a coffee and a catch up. And that's 2 hours there out of my journey time. So as my journey, I was making fantastic time back home. It's all gonna, like, my overall time now is gonna expand because I'm heading now the opposite way to home to go to IKEA in Glasgow. I'm gonna pop past and see my folks and have a quick catch up with them. And then head up to Aberdeen. So I'll need to kind of, when I'm thinking about the overall time of this journey, take out some chunks that are pure socialising on the way back. But socialising there in Lanark was the benefits and bonus is the charger they have in the garage for their Zoe, and in fact, Pauline, whose Zoe it is, has watched many of these videos before buying the Zoe, and they've been thinking about it for a while. So that's super. So that got me up to 95%. Great. if every house had a charging point. Wouldn't that be good? Whenever you go visit, you can just plug in and then be almost full by the time you leave. Brill. So all this way I've travelled multiple rapid charge stops and never had to wait for one, and I decide to add a wee extra in and go and get some stuff I need at IKEA, and now I find I'm blocked and I can't charge up because of a Leaf sitting on the rapid. So not much I can do about that.
Story of
what I'm not quite sure. No, I'm gonna go see my folks. Let me put in Stirling services here. I must still have that on my list. Recent destinations, just to see how far it is. 47 miles it says of range. MO Stirling, that's the one. I think I've probably got enough to get up there. I think it's only about 20-30 miles. So I should be, yeah, 30 miles. So that's fine. I'll just go. I won't bother with this charger here.
It's come for a roast.
Oh well, that was nice. We stopped at my mum, my stepdad. Cup of coffee, a bit of toast, and then head right. So now I'm going to 2 more stops, and then I'm home. Stirling, and then Dundee. Home. So this is the bit that I am very used to doing, this trek. Yes, right, how many miles have I got to go? To 27 miles to Stirling, so not very far, about half a battery, so that's fine. And should yes, it's just 12:40. So 12. I should miss traffic everywhere. Hopefully, I'll be past Dundee before. Yeah, no, that should be. We'll find out soon enough. Nearly home, and I've been a very good dad. Oh yes, the assorted dozen. Right, that's the penultimate charge done. Let it get up to 95% in about 30 minutes, I guess. 25, 30 minutes. And Stirling, back to Dundee now, and then from Dundee all the way back to Aberdeen. Ooh. So I am at now 1,010 miles. 1,010. So I tried on the way up. In fact, I just coming from Glasgow, I just put in a home address, and to see what the sat nav would do if I said yes, find me a charging place, and it did what I expected it would do. So, except initially, the first charger it brought up, because I was already on the drive up, was this one here, the Stirling one, and I was like, oh, it is just showing. And what it does is it gives you a list of them, the ones that are closest, and then so I guess you then pick the one you want to go to, and then within a few seconds it disappeared, the Stirling one, and it on the kind of, there's a left-hand column, it has a color coding for the kind of charger it is, and that was grayed out when it first appeared because it doesn't know what kind of charger it is. And then And then it disappeared, so you didn't have the choice of being able to select it. So I think that's what I feared was the case is indeed the case. So that's a bit unfortunate. So now I have got 121 miles. It says kind of red on the sat nav that I can't make it, and right enough I wouldn't be able to make it all the way back to Aberdeen from where I am. So I am wanting to stop in Dundee. So I guess I'm going to wait and see what it does, if it's going to flash up a message and ask me again if I want to add a charger. So I'll give it a few miles and see if it just comes up with it on its own. And if not, I'll see if I can press some buttons on here and get it to try and kind of force it to ask the question. So I was just stopped having a look back through some of the tweets coming back, and so in the middle of the night on the way up, 4 a.m, I got to this charger at a Reged Centre or something like that, I think it's called. I'm not quite sure how you pronounce it. That was the one that was behind a locked barrier. So Ecotricity are saying that all they do is negotiate the kind of rights to put a charger on a bit of land. It's not really up to them, you know, then how it's kind of used. The centre said, you know, yes, the hours, you know, it is limited to these hours, but that information is on the electric highway. And right enough, when I looked on like the PlugShare app, it does say that it's only available in certain hours. But in their tweet, they said, but it should, if on request, the gate can be opened. Which indeed was the case. The guy in the petrol station said that he would be able to open it, but only when there are 2 staff members on. And at 11 o'clock, it reverts to just 1 staff member, and they can't leave the petrol station, so they can do it. So that isn't technically the case overnight. It can't be opened. So okay, so I understand all of that, and you know, and that's, they're covering themselves. Now my problem with it is that it comes down to this about the user friendliness of the network. When you've got inconsistencies like that on chargers that are on or right close to the main trunk roads, you can't, I mean, you're having to rely on people having special knowledge. You can't just rely on the sat-nav, which comes up and says, do you want to add a charger? And you say, yes, thank you, I'll add that charger. Well, you've got to have special knowledge. Oh yeah, but that charger's only open between these hours, and actually, even though it's closed, I know I can get access to it as long as it's before this time, because there's, you know, 2 staff members. I mean, that's nonsense. It cannot, as the system gets, you've got to get rid of that inconsistency, so that when there's a charger there, it's just available and you can use it. And I know that when you're in cities and you've got businesses that have them and they allow people to use them, but they close it, that's different, I think, to the electric highway chargers, which are on trunk roads, and you are relying on those as you're doing long distances. So I understand where electric highway and this Reged Centre are coming from, but it doesn't wash with me for building the network out. That kind of thing is inconsistent and bad for users, because you can't just rely on the sat nav to take you to the nearest charger. So there we are. Okay, it is not coming up asking me for anything, so I'm gonna try pressing the kind of red flag button that is flagging up that there is a problem. Okay, so it's giving me okay, so it is actually coming up now with umpteen charge. So it's giving me now the map of the route, and where it shows you how many how far you will go on the charge. The kind of green for yes, and then a light red for I'm taking that as maybe, and then it goes to a kind of darker red, which is like, yeah, dream on, mate, you're not gonna get that far. So I guess what I'm pondering here is you've got all these it looks like loads of chargers. There are all these little flags all the way down the route. Can I pick one of those? Drive to? I don't know. Be interesting. I'm gonna hit the extra menu button. Add to save locations. No, that's not really helping. Let's come out of there. You see, now that's Perth, Dundee. No, I don't think it is giving. It doesn't give me the option of being able to pick one of these chargers. So that's not really doing it. Just kind of shows you where they are. Well, we'll see what it comes up with. I mean, I know where I'm going, so it's not, you know, it's not the end of the world or anything. Something I haven't mentioned before on the way back up the road. You may have noticed I've not had my big jacket on or anything. I've just had the heating on pretty much the whole way, and partly the weather was, you know, so bad at the overnight, but it was so much rain. I really needed the air conditioning on and a bit of warmth coming in, and to keep the windows all clear. It's colder now, 8 degrees here where I am. Of course, it was colder earlier in the morning, but it is. I haven't been using that as a kind of eco thing of not having the heating on. I've just had the heating on 21 Celsius, and I've been very comfortable with it at that temperature. Mad weather out there. It's crazy. Very windy. It's cold. Very damp. I mean, it's not that cold. It's 8 degrees, it says, but whoa, it feels well below freezing in the wind. Okay, I had a wee bite to eat at McDonald's, and I had a salad. Just want to point out for the record, and salad and orange juice. Okay, and no bacon in the salad either. Right, 99% charge back home. This all the way back to Aberdeen and plugging in at Duthie Park. When back home, it is 3:20 now. So it's starting to get dark. Ooh, yeah, it is cold out there. I really should take my jacket to head over to McDonald's, but I didn't, which was a bit foolish. So anyway, this is in the bag. Nothing untoward should happen now. No other charges to rely on until back home. So we're sorted. And so all of this in December, in the middle of winter. So this was going to be a real test for this sort of long journey, relying on multiple stops, and not doing it in the middle of summer when you inevitably you do have more range in the car, and You're not facing this awful weather. So, and the weather truly has been bad, both down and coming back up. So I think I can safely say that this has been successful. Yes, a successful experiment. If you can do it at this time of year, one end of the country to the other end of the country and back in the space of 3 days, with a day spent doing stuff, then, well, what's to hold you back? It is easily doable, and it's only going to get easier. That's the thing. As the cars develop and the range goes up, even if the range is only going up a little bit, 20% or something like that, it just gets easier and easier. You still have to be aware of some issues. It's not perfect yet. It's getting there. But for me, this trip has really shown how close it is to being a complete no-brainer. I'll just take the electric car if I'm doing 300 miles. In fact, I'll probably arrive more rested than if I took the other car. And that's maybe the strange one that I don't think everyone quite understands, but I've really noticed it. That I am more rested driving. I'm driving for, in total for longer. But I mean, the kind of driving time is the same, and so you're having more rest in between. So good. Anyway, enough of my rambling. I have dread to think how long this video is going to be. I will try and edit. So if you've got to this far in the video and it is way longer than you think is necessary, I promise I will have tried editing it. Right, lights going down and the lights on the car are on. In Aberdeen, just coming up our road over the speed bumps, and I'm wondering if the charge is going to be free or if somebody else is parked at it. We will see in just a second. I can see the Zoe, the Co-Wheels Zoe, and the other side is free, so I will just come along and plug in. Well, there we go. Back home. And where are we now? Let me get my other. Yes. So I will shut down and then we'll have a look and see. Right, here's the story. So total 1,130 miles. So that's a little bit less than I thought it would be when I was kind of doing my rough and ready calculations, but pretty darn close, 20 miles out. And my score, 74 out of 100. Look at this, all speed, because a lot of these stints I was just doing with the cruise control set at 70. And when I got down to Abington, I think, Abington or a bit further. I mean, I was up in the 90s there, so I was driving a lot more carefully to begin with, and then I kind of went, oh well, whatever. So average consumption 3.5 miles per kilowatt hour, average speed 47, total consumption 321 kilowatt hours, only 12 kilowatt hours back. In an ideal world, I would have loved to have seen that as 0. Then I would have been driving very efficiently, in that I would have been an awful lot of coasting, but hey, that's all right. Yes, I don't think there's anything else here that we haven't already seen. 3.52 to be precise, miles per kilowatt hour. And there we are, 1,130 miles. Exactly, really is exactly, since leaving. Brilliant. Okay, and after that trip up, 18 miles left, so all wonderful. Good. I confess, I am tired. I am ready to relax this evening and do not an awful lot. I suspect if I put a movie on, I'm going to be asleep within 10 minutes time. Oh dear. Right, I'm going to plug in the car, let it charge up, and we're set. Okay, what can I say? Wee Zoe, I have to sit down and work it out, but I think we're up well into the teens of rapid charges. One 7 kilowatt charger at my friend Brian's house. The rest were all rapid charges and all full speed rapid charges. None of this the E-Volt 17, 18 kilowatt nonsense. That was all full 43 kilowatts. So that the car has not put a foot wrong, or put a wheel wrong, whatever you say. She's been great, and the only ripple was the Abington Moffat issues on the way down. That was the only thing that really gave me pause, and I thought for a few moments, ooh, I might really be stuck here. But, and here's where the car, sorry, I'm cleaning up my mess while I'm going, where the car really didn't let me down, it is just that if, you know, you can eke out a lot. So that from Abington to Moffat, I think I had I think it was 19 miles on the battery, and it was like 21 miles to go. And by the time I got there, I still had 5 or 6 miles. So I'd kind of made miles back, about 8 miles back, and then I had to go another 10 miles, and I got there. So you can really influence just by your style of driving, and there, you know, there's a bit of leeway there, and I was amazed. Now I drove down just the wee back road, which long since surpassed by the motorway, but I was trying to average only 3 kilowatts of power on the throttle, and yet I was 25-35 miles an hour with just 3 kilowatts. So even going up the hills, it would just slow down to about 25 miles per hour. That's pretty darn impressive, and so that little energy got me down to Johnston Bridge, to the working charger there. On the way home, of course, I knew about that, so I did not visit any of those, and the only issue was that one where it was closed off. I couldn't get to it, but I had enough charge to get to the next one, so it didn't matter in the end. Yeah, I mean, good experiment. Right, when I get inside, I'll do. I did you know, I've got an Ecotricity and a what have I got here? So I've got my Charger car and an Ecotricity card and my Source London card that was absolutely useless. But I did not use this one at all on this trip. I put everything on the Charger car card, and the reason I did that is so that because with Charge Your Car you've got a record of all your charges on the website, so I can go in and have a look at all those charges. So I'm going to do that a little bit later this evening. Right. Thanks for following on, everyone, and I have to say, for everyone that was sending tweets and all the rest, oh, here's home. Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm at Duthie Park. I'm just doing my final video blog. Before I plug in.
Right.
So if you want to send one of the kids down to come and help me bring stuff up, you could do that.
Oh, sure. I'll tell Andrew.
All right.
Okay.
Okay.
Bye.
See you in a moment. Okay. Bye. Bye. Yes. I can't remember what I said. Oh yes. So for all of you who are following on through Twitter or Facebook, thanks so much for the comments. It was the breaks in between. I was busy, so like answering tweets and on Facebook, making messages, and I was trying to use PlugShare the whole way down and logging in, checking in at each of the charges when I went down. So that kept me very entertained and busy, which meant the time for the car was sitting. I was never twiddling my thumbs at all. In fact, sometimes the car was unplugged, and oh, here's the phone again. Hello. Hello. I think we're getting a bum call. Hey Andrew. I think Mum's called me again, but she doesn't know she's called me. Oh dear, how are you?
Hi.
Right, ta-ra everyone. Got the tax disc thing through, and it shows you 0. That's nice, isn't it? All right. Sorry, I'll do my video. I'm not actually talking to you.
Oh, lovely. Nice.
On the other side of the computer, you see. So I said I'd use the Charge Your Car card for all of the charges, because then there'd be a record of them all. But that's not the case. So when I went on, it shows all of the charges I've been doing recently, but then it's only the 3 that were using the Charge Your Car kind of system as their back end that are recorded. And if I go over here, where the whole spiel is from the actual car, the Renault site, you can see all of the different charges then. But when you're doing it this way, it doesn't really show you, I don't think. Let's have a wee look here. I don't think it shows you which one. Yeah, it doesn't really. It doesn't give you the details that you get with the other one, like how many kilowatt hours went in and all that. So yes, so it doesn't give you all of the information that I was hoping it would. But a couple of interesting things here. This is the charge here when I almost ran out, so you can see it's at it's not below 0%, and up to 99%. Look at that! It did it in less than 40 minutes. That's pretty good. So it was very hungry, and that charger was working supremely well. So nice. Anyway, so yeah, there's not a whole lot of information there. I guess if I go back to this, you can see that now that was, I had a connection problem the first time I tried. That's what that is, where nothing has happened. The rest of them were all fine. But if you look at it, what I was going to, so that's where I started, isn't it? Charged to 100% before leaving. The rest of the time, 98, 95, 99, 92, 97, blah, blah, blah. I'm not leaving it until it's at... I'm not just going when it's 80%, because it does charge up to about 95% pretty dang fast. And then it really starts to slow down. So you can kind of see that represented here in what I was doing. Anyway, all quite interesting. I'm getting laughter from the other side of the room, of mockery, it has to be said. But, right, that's enough. I should say that when I got home last night, about 5 o'clock, and because I had done going to visit various folks and stuff like that, I went to bed. What time did I go to bed? About 7 or something? Or yeah, I can't remember. It was quite. No, I think I'd gone to, and then I went back to bed. Oh, anyway, but I have one of these things that monitors your sleep, and when I woke up in the morning, I'd slept for over 12 hours straight, which is unheard of for me. So I guess I was pretty tired after that journey. But here we are. All right, that's enough, definitely, for this episode of Living with the Renault ZOE EV. Bye.